Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Wednesday, May 25th, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so we're in this disseminating phase still of the lunar cycle, which is about the awareness from the last weekend's full moon. Still that momentum, still a lot of that energy perhaps. Now, the moon's going to be in Sagittarius today, just like it was yesterday. So this is perhaps tapping into the more free-spirited side of things, that lighter side of things, maybe that expansion. And this can be with things like philosophy, spirituality, discussing matters, learning, but also externally as well, getting in contact with nature, going for a walk, these kinds of things, whatever it is that's really tapping into that adventurous, free-spirited energy of Sagittarius. Now, of course, we still have a lot of Earth energy because the Sun and Venus are in Taurus. So this is where we can be, again, gaining this energy through the earthly side of life, the sensual side of life, enjoying the things that we value. And this is particularly on the material level, whether it's relaxation, whether it's enjoying, a good meal, that hot bath, whatever it might be, is that great source of energy. And we can be enjoying that as well with Venus. Of course, in moderation, especially since Venus is getting closer to that sun, where she'll be at combust. And so it's good to have balance here and enjoy these things in moderation. So today in the transit graph, we do have that Venus still up to Mars coming off of yesterday evening. So there is this synergy still very much in orb about balancing the masculine and the feminine. And this is the receptive side of ourself with the more active side. And this has been a Mars going retrograde back into Libra. So again, it's about learning more about not only our independence and how to be direct, but how to do it with tact, how to do it with mutual understanding, with mutuality, that harmony in our life. And likewise, that Venus over there in Taurus is the reminder of having the directness, but yet balance in those relationships, and the enjoyments of life as well, the balance there. So that's going to be coming off of yesterday, but there is this synergy with it. I think from coming off of the exact orb with this, we've kind of already had the high point. We've kind of already acclimated to it. And so now it's just a matter of implementation. Now we are approaching Jupiter squaring up to Saturn exact tomorrow, which is a very important aspect, very slow moving planets. And this has been going on since August of last year. And this is particularly the slow and steady growth that has been really important because, Jupiter is the expansion. It's what's possible. It's that same sort of Sagittarius sort of energy. But then Saturn's that limitation. It's doing the responsible thing, the long-term thing. So it's an excellent time. This is a very good aspect, in fact, for taking action, for taking the constructive approach while having the inspiration on one hand, but also having the responsibilities on the other, the groundedness. And when they combine, that's really what we could be building. It's like the sacred geometry. Jupiter is the expansion, the light. Saturn is the retraction, the definition of it. And in that way, it creates. So it's very good to have that openness to build and be patient with it, which again is that square energy. But this could be definitely, in the long term especially, building perhaps some of these inspirations, some of these new things that we're learning about ourselves in terms of what gives us that sense of fun, that sense of joy and inspiration, which is this Jupiter in Leo. So there's a lot shifting with this because Jupiter has recently gone direct and the North Node's just barely making its way into Leo. So it's very new, but it's this new type of self-expression, these new interests, these new things that we enjoy. And with the square from Saturn, it can certainly be constructive, can certainly be implemented. All right, so we'll talk more about that tomorrow once it goes exact, but definitely in orb. And I think it's a great day for seeing that slow and steady growth for the big picture. Now, the moon is forming a grand trine here today, which has been that grand trine with Pluto and Jupiter and Mercury. So the moon's going to go over Pluto about midday. And so there's definitely going to be this deeper thing going on. Now, this is deeper in terms of, I think, us willing to go deep. Because in the easy aspect, Pluto's very well placed. There can be deep change, but it can be easy to do. It can be supportive, right? I mean, it's never easy to really go deep and to really see what we can change in our life and let go of those old fears. And, that requires a lot of that deep diving. But in the trine, it's showing a lot of support for this. And this is support particularly in terms of what's changing along the life path. Really accessing this adventurous spirit of Sagittarius. And a lot of this has been perhaps implementing what we've learned these past few weeks with Mercury retrograde in Aries. All right, with that trine up to Mercury, we've been having this opportunity this week to apply a lot of the stuff we've learned about perhaps direct communication or independence in our life, or getting that physical body moving, which is all of that Aries energy. So very supportive for that. And again, that could be assisting in what's transforming here, as it does once a month with the moon over Pluto. So we can have, again, that adventurous spirit of life. And that trine from Jupiter supports it, just as much. And that's the square from Saturn, again, going back to that constructive, slow and steady approach, yet seeing the inspiration, living in the inspired state, yet in the grounded state. All right, so that's going to be the major aspects of the day. In the evening time, the moon will be squaring up to Uranus. So for those of us in the Americas, having that extra tension on the emotional body, keeping things nice and balanced. If we are feeling like breaking free, wanting to do some sudden things, or it could just be a bit of that jitteriness or irritability with the feeling. So extra attention here, observation of the feelings, not taking it too seriously, I think can be helpful. But today, definitely this grand trine with the moon, very supportive here for that adventurous spirit, for the life path, for the possibilities, for learning more about him and implementing them with that Mercury. But then there's still this taking it slow, taking the balanced approach, the constructive approach, and again, the willingness to dive deep and integrating this masculine-feminine polarity, having the assertiveness with the connectedness, right? And working with that continuously this week. All right, so I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.